Welcome back, Reinhard. Good to see you once more. How are you today?
I'm very fine. It's late in the evening, but I'm always looking forward to talking with you.
I know. Thank you for giving up your late evening time to us, and it's always a privilege to have you here. I know this is a time when you should have a champagne in your hand and relaxing, watching your best, most popular TV. But you are giving us your time. Thank you.
Actually, it's the highlight of the day. It's the end of my working day. And there's soon the next day to start, but I enjoy really talking to you on the subject of project management and related subjects. And I think we have something very interesting today, right?
Oh, definitely, definitely. We are talking about unexpected, managing within the unexpected, or dealing with the unexpected. And given that we are going through some of the unexpected or unanticipated period, since I think February or January 2020, when we start seeing some COVID cases in China and then Italy and then Iran, and then entire world is going through, and we have seen a lot in Germany and Italy and US, everywhere. And all those unexpected events has caused problem. You know, health, of course, we know the health problem, financial problem. And for the organizations, it is about the challenge to how can they continue within, while they have to face this kind of environment where people cannot travel or people cannot come to work. They have to work remotely, and less time available. They are the people, the staff has to look after their families, and many other things are happening at the time. So that's the one scenario we can see and feel as of now. So given that we are in later part of the 2021, but we still see the pain of the COVID, while it is reducing its impact because of the vaccination, but it's still in that. So I think this is a good topic to talk about. COVID is one situation I mentioned here, but there are a lot of scenarios or situations where organizations are dealing with time to time, whether it is to do with the financial crisis or whether it's to do with some environmental, issues or anything. So I think it's a good topic where people can learn and be more resilient, more ready for some unexpected events. So Reinhard, your view, please, on this topic.
Yeah, you phrased it like managing within the unexpected or the unknown. And Donald Rumsfeld once said it's the unknown, which is threatening us from time to time. And I think what we see right now, it's too often that the unknown appears and happens. And I think we all have some experiences now with this COVID period. And very frankly, also in January 2020, we heard some news about there's something going on in China, but we were still planning and managing our projects like nothing would happen to us. But then from week to week into March, and March was the first case in Germany, we saw, okay, that's also coming to us. It's changing the whole situation, but still we did not believe that this will have an impact on the way we manage projects. And managing projects means doing plans, resource planning, schedules, cost calculations. We look ahead and do risk management, but that's always based on past and previous experiences, right? We have some probabilities of occurrence of certain risks. There may be a supply chain issue or maybe scarcity of resources, but we have mitigations. We can do something about it.
Yeah.
But last year that was totally different, because I think I did not see any of these kind of unexpected events like COVID on a risk register. I did not see any mitigation for it. So it just turns into something, oh, Houston, we have a problem. We need to do instantly something about it. And you all know, also Dharam, that then all the project managers, the project sponsors, the organizations doing projects are in hectic, they are under stress, and maybe the response to that unknown or unexpected is not the best one, because they just panic, they do something, and not always the best solution to that. So I think for project management is very relevant to look into, let's say, of an approach. How do we approach the unexpected? Not to come into a panic or stress situation, but to be resilient, as you said.
I think, Reinhard, before we get into the detail of unexpected, let's classify the risk. And we know that there's a risk which is we can anticipate it is going to happen. So we can look at the severity of the risk. Then we can have a plan to deal with the risk. So this is what we do as a project manager, program managers. We work with the SMEs. We work with the sponsor, steering committee, or other people, other stakeholders, based on their experience, based on their expertise. They will suggest you this possibly can go wrong. This can be, we need to be careful about it. And all this is based on the past learning. If something happened in past, let's say if you have bushfire every 2 years, so you know that if you're running a program which is connecting to cities via this fiber cable, especially during summertime, you have to be very careful because the risk is high. That's a known risk. But the second type of thing, sometimes we say unknown risk, unknown, which we cannot even think about at this stage. So if you talk about January 2020, there may be some people can always claim they were, some movies are made on pandemics, and people were aware, and Bill Gates was talking about pandemics and all those things. But that's a talk. Sometimes if that does not happen, it's a fictional, science fiction. If we never think that this can happen to us. But in January or February or March of that last year, we have seen that this unexpected event actually happened to us. So how we were dealing, how we dealt with that kind of environment. Probably some dealt better than others, and some actually gone out of business because of they don't know what to do.
Absolutely, and you're very right. So there's a clear differentiation between risks and what we call these unexpected or unknown unknowns. Certainly, there's a very low probability that something like that occurs, but the impact is huge, and it's much larger than we typically see in a risk situation. Some weeks or months ago, there was a blockage of the Suez Canal.
Oh, yes.
A big ship was blocking the whole pathway, and that has a severe impact on the whole supply chain for automotive industry in Germany, because they did not get the supplies from China. And typically, you don't expect something like that to happen. And there are always workarounds and so on, but that has severe, and still has a severe impact on all the projects we do, because now the factories sometimes are, they need to send their people on vacation because they are not able to produce. So it's a very low probability, but a really high impact. And Nassim Taleb, he called that the black swans. Yeah. Because black swans in some areas of this world are really unknown. It's something really rare, but it's very interesting species. But if you go to Australia, and Dharam, you have been to Australia, in Melbourne, it's pretty normal. I think it's it would be rather the white swan in Melbourne. That would be something unexpected. And so it also depends a bit on the area where you live, what kind of previous experiences you have, as you rightly said, and whether you can, let's say, have at least an anticipation of something like that would happen. And very frankly, also in the early last year, we had some experience, because I think 10 years back or so, it was the SARS virus already, but it was very local. It was more in China. So I was traveling to China. I was made aware, so be careful and so on, but it was not affecting us. But this time, so last year, it was a global effect. So the impact was even higher. And so this is what we need to take into account more than we did in the past.
Yeah. So Reinhard, how come some companies do better even in the worst scenarios, and some companies cannot? They don't know what to do, and they don't survive. They lose their ground altogether. What happened? Why is that?
I think that has to do something with the collective mindset, the culture, the let's say attitude of the leadership, the organization, and the project team certainly. So if you believe that a project is something that you can manage, that you are influencing it, that you have the power to do everything within that context, you plan it, you execute that plan, and you think, let's say, I'm proud, I'm the best man, and nothing can happen. But that is not the world. It is nature, it is society, it is many other circumstances that require us to be more humble, to see that there can be things, unexpected, extraordinary events that pop up, and we need to be open for that. And the first thing I think organizations do is to be open, have a radar to see developments. Anticipation means to read between the lines and to anticipate the impact that would have on your operations. It may also look into your team. Is there any misunderstanding, maybe some aggression, maybe some conflicts popping up, and now building that scenario and saying, if that continues, what would be the impact on my project? So openness, having a radar for development, weak signals, have a good look into the weak signals. And I think we lost that in a way, to read out of those weak signals and make something out of it, and say, okay, we need to be careful. We need to have countermeasures and prepare for that unexpected or unknown to happen.
Yeah. So, well, you said signal, weak signal. So, is it because why do you think we lost the weak signal? We cannot see the alerts in advance.
Okay, that's a very important question, because if you look now into the education of ourselves, I've studied electrical engineering, and in this study, yeah, we are educated to be self-confident, that we can solve every problem as an engineer, that we know a lot, and that we can overcome any challenge or any issue. But I grew also up on a farm in the Black Forest. I was also listening more to the nature and the events. So in the summer when we did hay, and I checked the skies, I could see in the formation of the clouds that within the next 24 hours, there could be rain. I'm not sure, but I think it's a prediction, or I think through some patterns, and I was just more aware of the environment, and could take that into account in doing my hay, doing my stuff, doing my work, and so on. And I think we have lost that in our modern society, relying too much on technology, relying too much on, let's say, what we think are our abilities of managing a project. We should be more humble and more open.
Yep. So, perfectly, very well said. So if we can read the triggers or the warnings early enough by having, good systems, yes, we do rely on our own intuitions, or somebody, we open the radio or look at the Google, what's going to happen next 7 days, that kind of thing. We have better tools nowadays. That's what you mentioned about the rain. We can kind of predict based on what weather department is talking about. But in terms of project programs, how can we be more ready, and how can we see the trigger early enough so that we can be more ready? Let's say my project is in danger. I may be ignoring some signs. But if I'm more careful, look at those signs, I can predict that my project is not likely to fail because of, I'm spending too much, I'm not controlling the time, or there are too many risks.
I think you're speaking about resilience. So we need to build in more resilience in the way we manage projects, we organize ourselves. I learned, I think last year, about a theory or model or an approach that is called effectuation. And effectuation just means there are circumstances where you cannot plan, it's too complex, it's too dynamic, it's too, let's say, confusing somehow. But still there's a way out, there's a possibility to deal with such situation. And they listed 5 very nice principles. And that gives you something into hand where even if your project or your organization is hit by something unexpected, you still can deal with it. It's a bit maybe like muddling through. It does not sound professional to muddle through. It does not sound, let's say, scientific. So we need to get rid a bit of our way of thinking, but it's a way out of a situation which is difficult. And one principle is the bird in the hand principle, which means now if you're in such a situation, just look what is available, what kind of things you can use, what kind of tools. Maybe you go more step by step and iterative, and like if you're on the fog, do step-by-step approach and not do follow your plans anymore. So you need to switch the way of working. Also, the other one is the lemonade principle. It just says, like if you want to do a lemonade, if you have lemons, maybe that's not the nicest fruit, but if you see what you can make out of a lemon, so that's a very nice drink. And that's the same situation. So in each such circumstances, troubles, difficulties from the unexpected, you can make something out of it. There are opportunities in it. And maybe you have seen the TV movie MacGyver. And he's the symbol for that, making something out of nothing, and that's very important. And the third principle I'd like to mention here is patchwork-quilt. So use also your network, use partners, bring their ideas in, and you're much more resilient than if you just believe on your own or just work on your own. So I think that's a change in mindsets, it's a change in tools that you apply, and with that you can really do something about it.
Yeah, so it's I think interesting topic itself. So you did share with me, and yeah, 5 principles. Yeah, great. So the best, utilizing the best out of the situation. So let's say COVID hit. Now, like I can talk about my situation. I actually had a lot of plans. First time I'm going to teach in Italy, Belgium, and Germany, and Greece, and I was trying to go to some Latin America. All very nice plans for the year laid out, and I was very excited that this year is going to be 2020. We have been waiting for 2020 for many years, and everybody talks 2020. So now my first trip of this year, 2020, was to Saudi Arabia. Actually, that was my first trip to Saudi, and the last trip outside of the US at the time. So all my plans of going Italy, Germany, Greece, Belgium are gone suddenly, because I can't travel. But in this situation, thanks to the technology we have now, I said, you know what, I cannot travel, but I can still teach using the virtual environment we are in now. So using the virtual technology, Zoom or GoToMeeting or whatever, I was able to convert some of the classes into the virtual boot camp. Actually, that's a good thing happened for me. Now, one is I don't have to travel, I don't have to worry about the visa and accommodation and all those kind of things, and flight after flight. And the second thing is now I can record the session. People can watch the re-recording later time. So at one point, I thought my business is almost gone because I cannot teach, I cannot fly. Suddenly, that helped me to come out of the situation and doing better than what I was thinking. So we, there's always opportunities from the bad situations or unexpected events.
Absolutely, yeah. And you missed Germany. What a pity. But you,
Yes.
you will come and visit Munich and visit the Oktoberfest. Yeah, I also
Next year.
missed. I also missed a nice travel because I had plans to go fly to Kathmandu in Nepal and then go to Bhutan. My dream is Bhutan.
Yeah.
But as this event was coming closer and closer and closer, all my plans disappeared in the fog. So yes, but as you said, there's always an opportunity in this kind of situation. And nowadays, like we are having this dialogue, but today I did a training just virtually with people spread. It's pretty easy now. Technology is offering us, and we save the planet because we don't travel, we don't pollute. So it's different. And I think what is, again, the attitude, we need to be open to these situations and make the most out of it. And the British always say, keep calm and carry on. I think that's a good motto also for project managers if something like the unexpected hits.
Yeah,
on the other hand, Dharam, I'd like to add something because I was, my last travel was actually to South Africa. I was visiting the city of Cape Town. And there was a purpose for that because Cape Town suffered from a drought, I think 3 years back now. And they developed resilience plans. Because they say it's not the only problem that we have in Cape Town. We may have migration issues. We may have another drought. We may have traffic problems and so on and so forth. And what I liked with their approach is they developed a strategic resilience plan. And that has an impact on projects because it says, okay, be prepared. Have always some budget left for dealing with the unexpected. And also from a resilience point of view, do something about to be more capable of dealing with the unexpected from a city or municipality perspective. And that would be my recommendation to many organizations. Have a resilience plan, have a strategy and work on that and implement that in your portfolio of projects.
Yeah, so it's very important to have a resilience plan, or what we call is disaster recovery plan. If we are in the disaster, which can happen because of tsunami, because of earthquake, anything, do we have disaster recovery plan? If your operation can continue, if one part of the world or one part of your business got hit by tsunami, at least you have another business in let's say center of the city or the center of the country, which can take over your business. So yes, there is a loss, but your customers are not suffering because your system is not available now. Because you have a good resilience plan. Yes.
But the resilience plan is much more than a disaster recovery, because disaster recovery just means something happened and I'm taking care of it. But the resilience plan is looking more for the future capabilities that you build. And that may be training the project managers in dealing with the unexpected. And here in Germany, we have some training programs that prepare project managers, especially to look for the unexpected and to also to observe more these weak signals and teach them this kind of effectuation principles so that they are ready, that they are resilient to cope with whatever the unexpected is, to deal with it, and not to have this huge impact.
Yeah. So how can we build a high reliable organization, with the plans and all kind of things, using the effectuation principles or something else?
Oh yeah, I think there's quite a lot to do. I think it starts with a culture.
Culture, yeah.
The culture needs to be open. It needs to be, let's say, outward looking also, because typically this unexpected, most of the unexpected events happen outside of the organization. They have a huge impact, like this Suez Canal thing, or also COVID came from outside. But then also to build in some flexibility, not to have this kind of rigid planning. I'm not saying that we should not plan anymore. I think plans are very important, but the level of detail, the duration of the plans, I think that is changing to build in more flexibility. You should build in more, let's say, buffer and flexibilities into your plan so that you have some, let's say, reserves where you can live from. But also, again, this kind of effectuation principle would mean a change of way of working. And that is a matter of training or human resource development, or even personalities of people that are able to deal with something like that. And that's what you need to build in or inject into your genes of the organization, so that the organization is more capable in dealing with the unexpected.
So how can, if we have the organization, isn't it an organization can be measured in terms of HRO, how resilient it is, or there's nothing like that at the moment?
You mean a measurement, or?
Yeah, some kind of measurement. Like if I'm looking, let's say my organization, is my organization is high on, HRO organization or not? If that, I'm just making up here.
Some assessment measurements of that, but I would not give too much or spend too much energy on this kind of assessments, because I think the real proof of how agile or adaptable or resilient you are is the real life. And we could see in the COVID crisis that those organizations that were using technologies and computers like these ones and tools like MS Teams were much faster in responding to COVID. In our companies, my people from one day to the other moved into their home office, and we have just used before Microsoft Teams as replacing our phones. Now we learned, okay, you can do much more with that. You can do conference calls, and you can store your data in it. You can do collaboration teams. So we learn through that, and I think that's also in the culture, that you adapt, that you learn, that you try it, instead of we implement now our plans. We just try, we muddle through, and I think that's in the genes of organizations that are truly resilient. And we saw also here in our country that, for example, the public administration was not at all able or resilient to cope with that. And that was also one of our problems here in the country, and which the new government now need to change, because especially in such a situation like COVID, we need public administration to be very capable of dealing with such a thing.
And I think people are realizing, some entrepreneurs are realizing there's a good opportunity to build some good tool which can help the organization to more resilient and more stronger, can come back to the situation very, very fast. So one of the tools I'm working with, or our team is working with, we call it VXDCC. We call it Virtual Transformation Digital Command Center. So this is actually, this can be, you can put on AWS or cloud. So your team can be working remotely or home or from other countries. They have access to the same data at the same time. So you're not relying on a data center, and if that hit by tsunami, if by earthquake, you are in problem. So we have to think outside the box. What are the things I can use, I can do to bring or build my organization more resilient by having good tools, good platform systems, and connectivity, and laptops, accessibility to this various kind of tools. So yes, IT department, IT companies are already very resilient because they have been allowing people to work from home. But you mentioned about administration, the government department, they have never seen this before. You're suddenly asking them to, hey, everybody's working from home. They don't know how to make them, disappear from the site, and now they have to work from home with no laptop. They have laptop, but they're not connected. They have connection, but it's not strong enough. The internet is not strong enough. They are strong enough, but the problem is 5 people in the house, they're using the same internet at the same time. So those things were not thought before. Now, because we've gone through this kind of up and down, especially this pandemic, many organizations have taken this opportunity to make themselves more resilient. So hopefully, if this happens again, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years time, the organization will be more prepared, more ready.
Yeah, but the next thing will happen. And I can just tell you, these days we discuss a lot about cybersecurity because now everyone is on mobile phones or laptops and using all these nice programs. But on the other hand, and we have several cases now that companies need to shut down simply because they were hacked. And so nothing is working anymore. You can pay something and then they may open up your systems, but nobody's doing that. But it means certainly you need to have several days or several weeks that you are out of business. And that's also something unexpected. And you can imagine which efforts you need to put in to restore your data and to be, let's say, operational again, back and working on your project. So, which I think we hop from one unexpected to the next one. So it seems that the world is getting more complex in dealing with it. And so I'm not sure what the next big thing will be. I don't know. But there will be certainly something that will hit us unexpected.
But Reinhard, one thing I like to talk about this cybersecurity. I know it's unexpected, but it is becoming more and more common. There's ransom attacks are happening, so it's not unexpected. So now, because this is kind of common, so organizations, especially the big organizations, the small, medium-sized organizations, they know they need to be more resilient. They have to secure the data before. They have to do everything so that they have less chance of getting attacked. If they get attacked, they have a fallback plan.
Yeah, big organizations have, but now our main industry is 95% is small and medium-sized enterprises, and those hackers, they exactly know that they go down the stream and now focus more on hospitals. Unbelievable that they block a total hospital with emergency station and everything. Just to get money from the hospital or small and very medium-sized organization. They are helpless because they have not all these protection mechanisms and not even the knowledge and ability to react on that. So it's like cats and dogs. It's a chase also in that area. I think resilience is about the response, how responsive you are in dealing with such an unexpected event, and you always find a way out of it. I think that's what I believe is resilience all about.
Yeah, so how to deal with a situation, or it depends on how much appetite they have, how much money they have, how can they deal with situation, can they be ready upfront, can we implement some tools, equipment, all they have to see based on their, it's all about benefit cost ratio analysis as well. If I invest $1 billion or $10 million, what is the benefit? And I have a continuation of business and so on. So organization has to see from that point of view and try to make their organization as resilient, as stronger as possible, so that if we do have another situation, may not be cybersecurity or may not be COVID, even if something else, let's say alien attack, are we ready for that? is totally unexpected. So
yeah, I believe it's the soft side that is the most important one, so that we think that there's something happening and that we are prepared for it, that we have the mentality and let's say the mindset of we can deal with it, we can do something about it, and not rely too much on technology, not too much on our plans, not too much on our methods and approaches, but be ready to deal with it if it just happens. It's like if you are sailing on the ocean and you need to be somehow prepared on, there can be a storm, there can be a big wave or something happening, and just in your mind, you need to be ready and dealing with it.
Yeah, and exactly. And as a leader of the organization or the leader of the project program, you need to be, you need to be calm. You know, while the stress is happening, things are happening around you. You need to settle down. Okay, you know what? It is. This is real. Now, what I have to do, take my organization or my project program to achieve the objectives. So staying calm, in control, seeing, the future state, and taking everybody along with you. That's where the resilience.
I'm not sure whether you can stay in control, but at least staying calm because you believe that you will overcome that situation, that you have a clear, let's say, vision. And if you have that vision, I think there needs to happen quite a lot, and even an unexpected event will not bring you too far out of your vision, because still it will blow you a bit away from your normal or planned path. But if you know your vision and if you believe in it and your capabilities, you will still reach it. And I think that's more important than believing that we have everything under control, we will manage. So this is a terminology, let's say, of the previous world. But now sailing more into the future, I think it needs to be a different kind of mindset or skill set that we need.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, staying calm and showing, seeing the vision and taking everybody along with you. Yeah, perfect. All right. Thank you very much for another beautiful talk. And today's topic was very, very interesting, especially given that we are in the pandemic or unexpected are everywhere, how to deal with such situation. Yes, every organization is different. You have to see from your point of view. You need to be careful about the alerts and warnings. Can you get can you get ready because of them? Or picking the right leaders, right project managers who can handle some most complex situation, unexpected situations. So that's something organization should look into.
Absolutely. It's like Christopher Columbus, because he was chosen on that journey by the Spanish kings, because he was the one that was believing in, I will reach India, as he believed he would reach.
Yeah.
And they had many others that say that's not possible. They did not believe in that vision. But he said, it will be very difficult. I don't know what will happen. I don't know whether we will fall down into something, but it was his, let's say, belief. And all the others on his boat and his ship believed in him, and that made him successful. And so that's the metaphor for the project manager. If we have a belief that we will reach our mission, and if any wind or storm will blow us out of the route, we will still go to that goal.
And actually, when you believe in something very strongly, some unexpected things happen. Miracles happen, which help you to navigate through because you have a belief. The moment you lose your faith, the moment you lose your belief, very easy, even if a very easy project program, you fail. Because you already in your mindset that, you know what, I'm not going to be successful. I've done the past project program, but not successful. How can this be successful? But if you strongly believe, you know what, I know it's impossible deadlines and it's so many complexity around it, but I will make it happen. Believe it or not, it will happen to you. It will happen to you.
So anyway. Yeah, be Christopher Columbus, believe in your mission and carry on. Keep calm and carry on.
Great message. Thank you, Reinhard. It's again lovely talking with you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so we will be back with another interesting topic. Thank you. As you have been in this journey a long time, or we are in the journey for a long time. So let's see what else can we bring for next time.
Thank you
very
for
much.
inviting.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
and see you again.